All right, apparently I do not have video right now, which is excellent.
Oh, that's lovely.
I think there we go. It's working. So Twitch and OBS are not liking me today. I had to upgrade a couple things, and I didn't burn my hard drive, which is always a good sign. We've added some chat, some requests for people to see the chat in the stream. I don't know how
And we got
well
rid of Lake.
Yes, Lake is actually moving into his brand new house this week, so he was going to be late today, so he's not going to join us.
So we replaced him with you.
Yes, so you guys right there, you can see your lovely chats right there on the screen. Let's see. Welcome to Crowns and Crows. I'm a little off my game today. Just Dragon and Valor today. Time for the rundown. We've earned about $15,000 since last week. We're keeping on ticking. Kickstarts had a really good podcast that came out today. Or Kickstars, I'm sorry, had a really good podcast today. It was tweeted out by Gordon and Todd, and it was a nice hour and a half long interview where they kind of discussed the story of the Kickstarter and how they did it. I think we've all heard this story in some fashion or the other in the last couple months, but it's nice to kind of every time they tell a story, it becomes more and more succinct, and you kind of take a little bit extra out of it each time because now they're kind of looking at it in retrospect as they're kind of grinding through a lot of things. And basically that's all with the rundown this week. And then today we're only going to be talking about the Legionnaire because we haven't had any other updates, and there's no fuel on the forums right now with what everybody's talking about. It's essentially people are still rehashing the multiple account thing. I don't think we're going to touch that again. And Val, I don't think you said there was any other big topics going on in the show.
Nothing too crazy. I started another little thread on the forums, but it's all speculation. Just because there's not any information out there, and it's easy to give people something to talk about.
Right. So let's just jump in. We got an excellent update today about the Legionnaire, and I think we can fill up a whole show with this because there's some like really interesting tidbits in here that I kind of picked out, and I want to talk about it. Again, I cannot. There we go. I can edit myself.
Hey.
I don't know if anybody can actually see that, but I don't want to get in the way of the chat there.
Do you even computer, bro?
Yeah, I don't. Not today. Everything's kind of slow. I don't know why. So essentially, we have the Legionnaire, and the Legionnaire is a giant centaur that runs around doing things. And as usual, we're gonna go around.
The most succinct way of summing that up. I don't know why. Why does anybody even spend all the time writing those updates?
Well, the thing is, I mean, he pushes people out of his way. He gets in people's way, and he heals people. He does some damage. He knocks people back. He runs all over the place, and he does things. He does more than any of the other champions that we've seen so far as just as a presence is concerned, I should say, I guess. So let's take a rundown in order of the post that was today. First of all, we talked about the Legionnaire powers. We got the first one that's not mana based, but it's energy based, or as anybody else that's played a lot of MMO, it's rage based. Essentially, you start off with 0 resources, and your auto attack / left click attack, your basic attack builds up those resources. So, Valor, have you ever played anybody with this type of mechanic? I know people that play Warriors and World of Warcraft have done it.
Yeah, well, and a couple different games have done things along these ways. I don't know that they really got into an explanation of whether. That's one of the things I kind of missed out on this update was I didn't see a whole lot of feedback within the conversation thread from Ace. Usually they get a couple different responses in there where they touch on things. So I don't want to get into too much, but do you build rage when you activate a skill, or do you build rage when you land a skill?
No, you build rage, as we'll see.
Oh, that's right. That's with your left click, but
right.
I mean, you can't just sit there and just swing your sword. You have to hit something, right?
I would imagine you actually have to complete the act of attacking.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's the rundown. Legionnaire should perform primary attacks to gain resource. Legionnaire starts with 0 resources instead of full resources. Archetypes that have archetype-specific resource defined with a gain can be set to negative value, causing this resource to decay slowly out of combat. And lastly, the value should be reduced by a factor of 10 because 10 is a number and they like it. So basically, math. So I would imagine you can't just sit there in the back lines pressing your attack, facing away from anybody completely ignoring friendly fire and then just spamming your heals all over the place. I don't think that's actually the case. So I think you have to actually use it, unless here's an exploit right here, maybe. You have a big beefy character in the back line. You just whack on him like the whole time during battle to fill up your rage, and then run into a couple abilities and run out.
Yeah, I mean,
why not,
definitely.
right?
And if you've got somebody sitting there who's able to kind of heal that up, you charge up all your skills.
You're dummy.
I mean, there's a lot of, or what if you're multi-boxing and you have a couple throwaway alts there that you just raise your skills on? Again, reasons why not to multi-box. Anyway, continuing on, it's a good question, and one that I think they're going to have some interesting challenges trying to balance, because if you have to hit something, what if it's a wall? What if it's a tree? I mean, we don't know anything about what sort of physics and how the rage will grow. So, that actually is a concern point that I hadn't really thought of. Is how are they going to handle that in a friendly fire game?
No, it's definitely interesting. Maybe I'm just going to say, as soon as you hit some